Fielder, captain, he's a real important person for this Atalanta side ever since they've had this golden spell. He was an ever-present for Gasperini, won the Europa League with them, and he's also got a really sparky, bubbly personality. He's always ready for a joke, is Martin de Roon, but as soon as he steps foot on the pitch, it's only business. Right, Atalanta trying to build up the left side. Ahano into Zalewski, back to Ahano, and nothing developing down that side, so instead they work it back through to Zappacosta via the goalkeeper. That's a little bit of a hasty clearance there by de Roon, just trying that pass around the corner, ballooned it up into the sky and coughed up possession for Genoa, who are able now to counter. Sabelli trying to thread it into Colombo, gets his pass wrong. Once again, Scalvini there just stepping in, reading the game exceptionally well. Looks like he's from that traditional school of Italian defenders who understand the game so well, read it so intuitively. His positioning has been exceptional so far. And as we see with this battle he's having with Jeff Echator, a product of Genoa's youth academy, he's not afraid of the physical stuff either. Neither is Ahano, who steps in and intercepts that long throw and clears his lines. Now Atalanta are able to get their foot on the ball. It's played out to Zalewski, but a foul just as the ball came to him. First yellow card shown of the afternoon goes to Amorim. There, I think he just upended his fellow Brazilian national Ederson. It's a really late tackle, just as Ederson was trying to whip that pass out to Zalewski down the left wing. Amorim came in too late, took his feet away, and gets himself in the referee's notebook. Dare I say it, that was a bit of a De Rossi style tackle from Alexandro Amorim. So in the few months that he's been in Genoa, he already understands what the identity of the manager and the identity of the team which De Rossi is trying to instill. Atalanta passing the ball well from defence into midfield, and once again Ederson has it, lays it off to Ketelere, one touch to Ketelere, out to Zalewski. He returns it back to the Belgian, who's got a crossing opportunity. He's inside the penalty area here, tries to square it across the 6-yard box, but good defending, stepping in, intercepting and ballooning the ball safely into Bilo's arms. But that was good from De Ketelere there. He's an elegant player. He was well watched by number 77 Ellertson at that right wing back position. Marcandali, good pass up the lines into Echator's feet, who tried to one touch work it around the corner. He's shouting at himself, he's frustrated because he just smashed that ball straight out of play for an Atalanta throw. He knows that was an opportunity there, Echator, the Italian forward, to try and get Genoa playing further up the pitch. We've had 20 minutes so far. It's been neatly balanced, but I have a sense perhaps that Atalanta are growing into this game after Genoa, I would say, certainly shaded the first 10 minutes or so. But Genoa are in possession. Amorim, deepest outfield player for Genoa, just trying to orchestrate the play that he sees in front of him. That's a sloppy pass out of defence straight into Ahano's feet, who emerges with the ball, wins himself a foul. Amorim needs to be careful here. That's his second foul in as many minutes. Just tripping Ahano as Ahano emerged from defence. He intercepted that pass. I think the pass even came from Amorim, so perhaps a little bit hasty, trying to correct his mistake. But he's just had a word from De Rossi, and I dare say that was De Rossi saying, just cool it, mate. Keep it easy. Don't get yourself sent off. Genoa had to play most of the game in the reverse fixture in Genoa with 10 men. They don't want to do the same here. Crossing opportunity from the right. Scalvini. It's cleared by Marcandali just around the penalty spot, but the resulting counter opportunity for Genoa is fruitless, leads to nothing, and indeed Atalanta have a throw level with the 18-yard line over there on the far side. Cameras zooming into Honest Ahano. He's 18 years old, but he's playing with such great composure. Genoa clear their lines from the resulting throw, put it out higher up the pitch, same side, over there on their left, but a deeper throw this time. Much closer to the halfway line, and indeed the referee Ivano Pizzuto is having to send Zalewski still further back. Plays restarted, worked out to Scalvini at right centre-back. He takes a touch, opens the body up, plays it inside to Zappacosta. Zappacosta to Daruna, and now De Ketelere is able to release Zappacosta down the right wing. He's almost by the touchline, crosses inside the box, and it's well punched clear by Bilo. The danger isn't over though, because Daruna's picked it up close to the touchline on the right side. He drops it deeper to Scalvini. Scalvini across to Ahano. Ahano into Zalewski's feet. Possible crossing opportunity from the pole. He goes outside, puts in a cross on his left foot, wins himself a corner. Nikola Zalewski has already shown in this game that he can go either side, so it's going to be a tough ask for Marcandali, the young centre half, to match him. It's always dangerous when you're up against a winger who you know can take you inside and outside. Here Zalewski is over, standing on the corner, right-footed this time. Plenty of bodies to aim at, although there are more white shirts in that penalty area for now. Kristovic coming to the near post, but it's into a crowd of bodies and somehow headed clear towards the just to the right of the penalty area. Scalvini coming inside the box. Can he square it? No. It's cleared, and it's back with 15. Martin Daruna, the deepest player for Atalanta. He's not the one to go up and contest the corners. Zalewski has it now. Plays in Ahano. Crossing opportunity for the Italian defender. He picks out number 13, Ederson, who tries to just clip it back inside the penalty area. But once again, it's intercepted by a Genoa defender. Cleared into Ecuador's feet, dropping deep from centre forward, and Ecuador doing good centre forward play there in this position, just sensing the foul and feeling the touch from Ederson, winning the foul, clipping his heels. So it's been pretty evenly matched so far after 25 minutes of this game. Still 0-0 here at the New Balance Arena. Match day 35 of this Serie A season. Atalanta desperately need points if they're going to have an outside chance of making Europe. Ecuador on the ball inside Atalanta's half. That's a good pass inside from Sabelli into Amorim, who just opened up the pitch, took his marker out of the game, and then tried to play it into Vitinha. Just got his pass a little bit wrong. Carnesecchi able to step off his line and gather. And now Atalanta clear up the right wing to Ketelere, who tries to come back inside. Eventually he finds Ederson. Ederson there, whips it out to Zappacosta, who's really high up the pitch. Davide, but well defended there. Vasquez watched him stride for stride, didn't take his eyes off the ball and stepped in, took it very cleanly. Throw by Atalanta, taken inside quickly from Ketelere to Daruna. Back to Ketelere, now it's just clipped into the box, where Kristovic was never going to get that under control. Tried to just stick an outstretched leg at the ball and just nodded it on into Bilo's pass. Bilo drops it to his feet. He has Scamacca pressurising him slightly, but he passes right to Marcandali. Marcandali back inside to his keeper, and now it's up towards Ecuador, but Jim City there just gets there ahead of Ecuador, so Atalanta are able to build from deep. Daruna there just laying it off for Scalvini to take a few strides out of defence. 60% possession for Atalanta, so that tells you how they're kind of growing into this game, but it's still evenly matched. And Genoa have shown a couple of times here that they're looking strong on the counter, so plenty of food for thought for Raffaele Palladino and Daniele De Rossi. Goal kick to Genoa to be taken by Vasquez. He passes it right to his goalkeeper, Bilo, and now he just clips it up the pitch towards Ecuador. That's really smart centre-forward play. He just ducked as the ball came towards him, and Colombo now able to square it to Vitinha, and it was a good shot from Vitinha. Took a deflection, and Vitinha turns around and gives a double thumbs up to Ecuador. Really smart. He saw the ball, ran towards it, made as if he was going to nod it on, and then ducked his head in the final moment, allowing Colombo to run in behind him. Colombo squares it to Vitinha, who gets a shot off early. And kudos to Jim City there as well, getting the block in. But we have a Genoa corner over on the far side, their right, to be taken right-footed, so it's going to be an outswinger. There's a line of Genoa players on the 18-yard line, ready to burst into the penalty box and attack this ball only when Ivano Pizzuto is happy to allow play to proceed, which he now is. Both sets of players jostling for space. Ball delivered into the penalty box. Genoa player gets a head on it, but can't direct it beneath the crossbar. I think that was Ostergaard there who leapt highest. He's running back into fence, howling with frustration. Indeed, he got himself into a good position. It was a huge crowd of bodies, so it would have been very difficult for him to direct that goalwards. But judging by his reaction, he believes he should have done better, and that was an opportunity perhaps for him to score his 6th goal of the Serie A campaign. So clearly he's a danger man on set pieces. Genoa clear their lines all the way behind Carnesecchi's touchline, his byline next to his goal. So Atalanta with a goal kick as we approach the 30-minute mark here at the New Balance Arena. It's been enjoyable so far. It's been well contested from both sides, who are coming into this game on the back of losses, still have things to play for. Atalanta, outside chance of making Europe, and Genoa still have to mathematically secure their spot in Serie A next season, even though you would think, looking at the table, they are pretty safe in 14th spot. Zappacosta with a throw just in front of De Rossi's technical area, so maybe 10 metres inside Genoa's half, but he goes back to Scalvini. He's a really experienced head, Zappacosta, 33 years old. He's got that salt and pepper haircut with a few greys creeping in, but he's still got plenty of energy. Watchers of the Premier League may remember him from his stint at Chelsea. Didn't work out entirely as he'd hoped. He came in Antonio Conte's 2nd season in the capital, and that season, although it ended with FA Cup glory, he wasn't really the happiest for all involved. But nevertheless, Zalewski with a long throw, level with the penalty spot, tries to play it into the Genoa penalty box, but the defenders get there first and they're able to clear. Unable to turn it into a counter-attack, although that's a quick throw there, releasing Ecuador, but once again, the covering, this time by Martin de Runa from a central defensive midfield position by the Atalanta players, is exceptional. I was about to say that the counter-attacking opportunity there had been snuffed out. But a quick-thinking Genoa player took an opportunity there and threw it for Ecuador to chase. Although I think actually the referee would have and has pulled back play anyway, because he believes that it should have been an Atalanta throw in the first place. So Atalanta with a throw, same position as before, maybe 10 metres inside the Genoa half. This time Zappacosta plays it long towards Scamacca, but Scamacca unable to control the ball, and it goes out for a Genoa throw this time. Sabelli wearing number 20. Stefano Sabelli has been at Genoa since 2021. Very experienced, got promoted with them the last time they went up to Serie A in 2023. He takes a throw and works it back through the defensive line out to right wing back, whereby it is launched up the pitch. And I think there is going to be a foul there. The Genoa forwards just a little overzealous in competing for the ball, barging into Ederson. the free kick, though. Possession is soon coughed up. Sabelli here, number 20, trying to play it to Zappacosta, to Ecuador, I beg your pardon. Ecuador was a little bit off balance, unable to get it. Indeed, Zappacosta gets there first. So Atalanta able to build a Harnor into Zalewski. Zalewski back across the back three. Scalvini has it now, plays it up the line to Zappacosta. He turns on the ball and just tries to clip it up the wing to Scamacca. Scamacca is able to control it, passes it inside to Ketelere. Ketelere finds Kristovic. This is a promising move developing from Atalanta. Kristovic just takes too many touches, let the ball run out of his control, and allows Vasquez, the Mexican, to nip in, tackle the ball and win himself a free kick in the process. Really promising move from Atalanta there, but Kristovic just took a few too many touches, one too many touches, and allowed Vasquez to make the tackle. Free kick's taken into Sabelli's feet. Sabelli, right-footed, launches it up towards Ecuador. Great nod on from Ecuador there, but Scalvini read it well and just nipped in before it could drop to Colombo's feet. Atalanta try and clear their lines. They do successfully. The ball works its way back to Bilo, the Dutch goalkeeper for Atalanta. He's been sharing a number one spot with Nicola Leali, but he's got the nod today. His 14th appearance of the season. His goal kick is gathered by Atalanta, who now have an opportunity to counter down the right. To Ketelere has Zappacosta beneath him, bypasses him, finds Darun. Darun back into Ketelere. Now the run from Zappacosta comes. He gets it off to Ketelere. Crossing opportunity inside the box. He almost drops to Edison, but he took a really heavy touch as it came across him. He was in a really good position there. The cross comes from Zappacosta, took a deflection and from Ostergaard and just dropped at Edison. His touch is so heavy, unusually you'd say for a Brazilian, and allowed Genoa to clear. Atalanta come again, down their left wing. Zalewski cutting inside onto his left foot, coming inside now, shooting opportunity, but instead finds a pass into Kristovic's feet. He can't control it, and Genoa clear for a throw, level with the 18-yard line on the far side. Their left wing, Nikola Zalewski trots over to pick up the ball and take this throw. Friendrip for Genoa has covered the most distance out of anybody so far. He's getting through a real shift there in midfield. Throw taken, nodded on by Kristovic, into bodies. De Ketelere nods it on still, bit of head tennis here, but eventually Genoa clear and Ecuador helping out. Ball is cleared up the line by Vasquez, but goes out. Throw taken quickly by Daruna, drops it to Scalvini, inside now to Edison. He plays it on still further to Ahano. Ahano has Zalewski outside of him. One touch, good pass by Zalewski into Kristovic. He was tightly marked though by Marcandali and unable to retain possession. So it's in with Bilo. Has the ball in his hands. 10 minutes left to play of the first half. Still goalless, but it's competitive. It's a good game. Doesn't have that end of season feel to it. Both sides really trying to win and pursue their objectives, which are still in play. Bilo up the pitch to Colombo. Colombo controls it with his chest and then drops it deeper to Vasquez. Takes a couple of touches and then comes back inside. And I just saw Daniele De Rossi there getting a little bit frustrated. He wanted the play to develop and move forward, but Vasquez took a safer option coming inside. And now even worse from that perspective, Genoa are all the way back with Bilo. He clips it up the middle of the pitch to Ecuador, who retains the ball, able to afford his side a platform high up the pitch. Now possession exchanges hands. Zalewski, poor from the Polish wing-back. He just cut inside on his right foot, played the ball into nobody. Ostergaard stepping from defence into midfield, just intercepts it, unpressured, affords Genoa a chance to build an attack. But once again, Genoa choosing the safe option, going back to their goalkeeper. Bilo back out to Marcandali. Marcandali one on to Ellertson. Haven't seen much of him so far in this game. Over on there at that right wing-back position. That's well intercepted by Scalvini. Opportunity for a counter. Atalanta here. De Ketelere back out to Scalvini. He finds it back into Ketelere, who gets a shot off. Draws a low save from Bilo there. Really good from Scalvini, stepping out of defence, exchanging a 1-2 with De Ketelere. And just nudging it back into his path for a first-time shot from the Belgian attacking midfielder, formerly of AC Milan. Sabelli has it to the left of the penalty area, step over, then drops it deep to Vasquez, who takes it to the byline where he's going to cross with his left foot, but he doesn't make it past that commanding frame of Scalvini. At 22 years old, he really is playing with the composure of someone more advanced in years. As I must say is Honest Ahano over on the other side. It's a strong back three for Atalanta. Carnesecchi there playing it into Ederson, who drops it to Ahano. Ahano now up the wing and into Genoa's half, with Zalewski cuts inside, fires a pass into Kristovic. Kristovic is unable to keep a control of it, allowing Amorim just to nip in. Number 4 for Genoa now has an opportunity to establish a platform. He plays it to Frendrup to his right, number 32 for Genoa, just at the base of that midfield, looking for options to the left and right of him. The safe one is Ostergaard, his fellow Scandinavian, and Ostergaard passes to Vasquez and a back to Bilo. Bilo there just choosing the long option up towards Vitinha, who manages to retain it. Colombo almost bursts through. Eketor gets on the loose ball. Shot there from Colombo, but really Eketor wanted it. Just a few words of apology between the two there. Vitinha really does well to keep this ball alive, and then Colombo first bursts through, and then Eketor helps out on the loose ball, and it looked like it was bouncing nicely for Eketor to get a shot off, but Colombo took the, quite frankly, harder option, volleying it on the turn, and got a mouthful from his fellow striker. Atalanta coming inside Genoa's half. Ederson to Zalewski, back to Ederson. Squares it to Zappacosta, just in front of the Genoa penalty area. Players slowed up a touch though, allowing Genoa to drop deep and flood that zone with bodies. So they're really going to have to thread these passes through Genoa's defence, and they're unable to do it. Genoa retain possession, launch it up the wing for Lorenzo Colombo to chase, and the Italian striker concedes a free kick, which is quickly taken. Atalanta with Zalewski on the far touchline, coming inside onto his left foot, squares it to Daruna about 30 yards out. That's a good pass into Kristovic, who tries to turn and shoot, but it was well blocked. 40 minutes played in the first half. 5 minutes left on the to play, plus additional time. And it's still 0-0, but both sides will be approaching the half-time interval, feeling like they have something in this game for them. So let's see if either side can break the deadlock before the break. Sabelli into Amorim with a throw, gets it back and then finds Colombo. Colombo squares it to Eketor, outside of him, closer to the touchline. The Italian striker comes inside and fires it cross field to Marcandali, exchanges passes with the right back, crossing opportunity. Eketor gets it again from the penalty spot. Good shot, but it's blocked. Still bouncing, and eventually Atalanta clear, but they clear only as far as Frendrup, who volleys it back into the danger area. Now a shot from, I think that was Colombo. Another slightly wild effort. Good running there from Marcandali from defence, providing an extra option. When you have two sides playing 3 at the back or 5 at the back, depending how you look at it, you do need added numbers. Otherwise, these two formations can rather cancel each other out. So Alessandro Marcandali doing exactly what he needed to do there, bursting from defence, offering another passing option, playing the 1-2 with Ellertson and then trying to square it. Ecuador, good shot, but blocked. Genoa with the possession inside their own half. Amrim there just being tackled and fouled by Martin de Roon, who just gets a little talking to from the referee. He needs to be careful here, the Atalanta skipper. Just needs to walk away before he talks himself into the book. That's Genoa with the free kick, halfway inside their own half, closer to the near touchline, their left side. Vasquez, the left centre-back, is standing over it. Where's number 22, captain of the Grifoni? He takes it left-footed, clips it up the wing towards Ecuador, who back into Zappacosta, unable to nod it on to his fellow strike partner, but is able to win his side a bit of field possession. Atalanta throw deep inside their own half. Zappacosta has it, ball in his hands. He's just in front of the 18-yard line and drops it into Ederson on the volley, who clips it up towards Zamaka. Bouncing ball, but De Ketelere tries to fire it into Kristovic, but the Montenegrin is not where he thought he would be, so coughs up possession. That's a dangerous pass from Bilo out to Ostergaard. It didn't immediately translate into Atalanta possession, but they have it now. Zappacosta with a great cross from the right. It's bouncing just beyond Zalewski. He's a bit diminutive, the wing back. It just bounced in front of him and then over him, behind for a throw, which Zalewski is convinced should be an Atalanta throw. A little bit lax there from Bilo. Perhaps didn't see Scamacca lurking as he attempted to pass it into Ostergaard, and Ostergaard really was forced into an emergency measure there to clear in front of Scamacca. Otherwise, Atalanta really would have been in one-on-one on goal. Atalanta win a free kick just in front of the centre circle in Genoa's half, taken quickly, worked out to Lievski over there on the far touchline. He's one-on-one with Ellertson, goes outside of him this time, tries to clip it into Kristovic. The Montenegrin just nodding it towards goal, couldn't generate any power. Zalewski, last few minutes, has come into proceedings in a really significant way. The Polish winger giving that back three, back five a lot of headaches going inside and out. He's good off both feet, is Zalewski. The ball is tossed forward for Kristovic to try and chase, but exceptional defending from Ostergaard, and Sabelli with a great clearance up to Colombo. Colombo keeps hold of possession, dropped it to Amorim. Amorim closely marshalled by de Roon and loses possession, puts the ball out of play for an Atalanta throw. Experienced work from Martin de Roon there, showing all of his nous that he's built up over his 35 years, forcing Amorim into a tight spot where he felt like the Brazilian was going to make a mistake and put it out for a throw. So indeed it was, and now Atalanta are building with a good pass out to Zalewski. He tries to square it back into Ketelere's path, but it's well defended. That is going to be it. Just one additional minute at the end of an entertaining half, which remains goalless at the New Balance Arena. It's Atalanta 0, Genoa 0, half-time here in match day 35, the early kickoff of the weekend on Saturday evening ahead of the bulk of fixtures tomorrow. But both sides here are going to go into the changing rooms with the score 0-0. We'll be back with you in around 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the New Balance Arena. The referee has strode out to the centre of the pitch and put the ball on the centre spot. So we are seconds from the second half, resuming here in Atalanta versus Genoa. Atalanta with the kickoff in the second half, kicking from right to left in their blue and black kit, against Genoa kicking from left to white in their all-white kick with the St George's cross emblazoned across the front of their shirts. Kick-off, and the ball is immediately launched into Genoa's backline, where Ellertson there a little bit sloppily coughing up possession. So Atalanta have it, edge of the area, trying to thread a pass through to their front two, but this time the interception from the Genoa defenders is a little cleaner and they're able to clear. But it comes back at them in earnest. No changes to report for either side. So we are as we were in the first half. Zalewski with a throw just inside Genoa's half. Tosses it inside the pitch towards the Ketelere, who nods it deeper to De Bruyne. De Bruyne tries to send it forward to Ederson, who can't play in. Zalewski running outside of him. Genoa with a sniff of a possibility of a counter there, but that it was snuffed out. Colombo just crowded out by a few Nerazzurri bodies. So let's have a quick run through of the lineups to refresh our memories here. In goal for the home side, Carnesecchi. Back three of Scalvini, Cimciti and Ahano. Zappacosta, Darun, Ederson, Zalewski across the middle to Ketelere behind a front two of Kristovic and Scamacca. For Genoa in goal, Bilo, a back three of Marcantali, Ostergaard, Vasquez, Sabelli, Amorim, Friendrip and Ellertson in midfield. A two of Vitinha and Echetor behind Colombo. Crossing opportunity for Atalanta now into the box, but it's cleared only as far as Zappacosta coming inside the penalty area down the right side of it, trying to get to the byline and square, but it's cleared only as far as Scalvini strides forward. A real commanding, powerful frame he has, and he's happy going forward in those red boots and crossing the ball towards Kristovic. Well defended. Genoa clear. Echetor, as he's been doing all game, dropping deep from centre forward and helping his defenders out and offering them a route out of defence and up the pitch. Securing possession for the Rosso-Blu, who are in possession now with number 77, Ellertson, at right wing back. He plays it inside to Friendrip. Friendrip tries to go aerial, the route one option to Vitinha, who tries to latch onto it, but it's a little bit too far for the former Braga centre forward. And Atalanta with Scalvini able to pass into midfield. De Ketelere on the turn there. He tried to play it into Scamacca, but it's intercepted. Nevertheless, Atalanta able to retain possession. They still have a hold of it over there on the far side, just inside Genoa's half. Crossing the pitch now to Ahano, who one touch plays it into Zalewski. The Pole comes inside, finds Ederson. Ederson into Kristovic. Kristovic lets it run. Ahano has it now. He tries to square it. He was inside the penalty area, just to the left of the 6-yard box. Couldn't really generate enough power. He's going away back to his defensive position, slapping himself in frustration. It's a good run there. Pass by Zalewski into Kristovic. He let it run, and then Scamacca just laid it off for Ahano. He wasn't decisive enough as he came onto that ball inside the Genoa penalty area. Genoa now able to clear their lines over there at left wing back, only as far as Scalvini, who nods it back into Kristovic. Kristovic laying it off to Ederson, running beyond him, but Genoa clear with Bilo smashing the ball up the pitch. Atalanta have made a good start to this half. They've got an excellent record against Genoa. They won their last 6, and indeed Raffaele Palladino as a manager himself personally has an excellent record against Genoa. But this Genoa side managed by Daniele De Rossi do not roll over easily. Clearly they play in the image of their manager, and they are very much still in this contest. Nodded forward for Echator to chase. He has options outside of him, comes inside, beats a man, just chips it forward to Colombo on the chest. It's not really the pass that Colombo wanted there. He controlled it, and then Scalvini just stepped in and nipped it off his chest. So it's back with Marcandali. Plays it up the wing to Michael Ellertson, the Icelandic. He comes inside to Colombo, who lets it run and then gets it back off Echator. And then he takes a rather wild shot from around 30 yards out. It wasn't wild as such, no, it's the wrong word for it, but it was a long way out and he didn't really catch it sweetly. So an easy take for Carnesecchi, who now plays it up the wing. Scamacca gets on it, the former West Ham striker. He's able to turn, clips it forward, does he, towards Zappacosta. The referee is pulled back there. Well, I'm not sure what for. I'm really not sure what for there. Vitinha dropping deep. Number 9 on number 9. Scamacca's in possession. Turns Vitinha, and I think Vitinha is just clattered by Scamacca on the way through. But Scamacca's in possession. I cannot see for the life of me how that should have been given as a foul, and I dare say, I don't lip read, but I dare say Raffaele Palladino was saying something similar to the referee Pezzuto, possibly a little bit fruitier in his choice of language, but it affords Genoa a free kick inside their own half, which they try and launch out there to Sabelli at left wing back, but it's intercepted. Only as far as Frendrup, though, who just clears up in midfield. Good work there from the Danish midfielder. He's a real engine, as we've seen from the first half, running more distance than anybody else so far in this game. We've played 52 minutes, still 0-0 here at the New Balance Arena. Which of these sides is going to find the key that unlocks this cagey but still entertaining game of football? Colombo falls down just to the left as Genoa attack of the centre circle. Scalvini, I think, the culprit there, leaping higher than his fellow Italian, getting ahead on the ball, but as he's doing so, just knocking his elbow into the back of Lorenzo Colombo's head. The striker here on loan from AC Milan has been since the start of the season. We just see a shot there of the Genoa substitutes warming up. I wonder when the first change from either manager is going to come. Bilo is up from goal kick from his goal line to take this free kick inside Atalanta's half. He clips it to the far post where Ostergaard nods it in towards danger. Marcandali trying to get a hold of it, but Scalvini, he's everywhere across that back line. Clears, sends it back to number 22, Vasquez, Mexican defender, who gets control of it, comes out of defence, passes it into Amarim's feet, then gets it back off Amarim, and it's back to the goalkeeper. Bilo fires it into Amarim. One touch from Amarim out to Michael Ellertson. Now back to Bilo. It's safe from Genoa, perhaps a little too safe. Perhaps a case of these formations cancelling each other out. They need to do a little bit more of that. Jeff Echator dropping from centre forward to offer a passing option, and then Genoa try and work it up that left wing, but they give the ball away. This is Kristovic bearing down on the penalty area on the right side. Comes inside, well tackled. Clean as a whistle there. De Ketelaere it was, not Kristovic, who burst into the Genoa penalty area. And Vasquez came across, got the tackle in, and it looks like the ball just bounced back off De Ketelaere, the Belgian, and so a goal kick to Genoa. De Rossi deep in conversation with one of his substitutes, so possibly a change coming soon in the Rosso-Blu lineup. Before that, they're going to have to deal with another Atalanta attack. Zalewski working it down the left side. He's got a Hanor outside of him. Goes inside to Daruna. Daruna, one touch into De Ketelaere's feet. De Ketelaere drops it deeper to Scalvini and gets it back again, this time off Zappacosta. Zappacosta inside to Scalvini. Scalvini to Darun inside. Darun opens the pitch, finds Ederson. Now it's an opportunity for Zalewski down the left side, one-on-one with Ederson, goes outside of him this side, then cuts back inside, tries to square it, but it's behind Hanor, so affords an opportunity for a Genoa defender, Friendrup, just to clear, put it out for a throw, level with the 18-yard lines. Caleb Echuban is the choice who's going to come on, and he is replacing number 29, Colombo. Like for like, this centre forward for centre forward, as Echuban replaces Colombo. Let's see if this was just one singular substitution. I think it was. The Ghanaian centre forward, born in Italy, but an international player for Ghana, the country of his parents. Watchers of the Premier League English football might remember him from his stint at Leeds. Throw is taken by Levski, tossed into the 6-yard box, and it's well cleared there by Ostergaard. And this is the first time that Echuban is able to get his foot on the ball, and in doing so he gives away a foul. In an interesting position, Zalewski slams the ball down with purpose. He's going to be the one to take this, just as Echetor, not Echuban, was trying to turn round Hanor. He just leans into him a little bit. Two changes also for Atalanta. First, Scamacca, number 9. It's been a tough afternoon for him today. Not really had a hell of a lot to do. He is replaced by Raspadori, and the absolutely colossal Hien is on for Jim City. Hien was the goal scorer, got that 94th winner in the reverse fixture. So two substitutions for Atalanta as they line up for this free kick taken by Zalewski to the far post, but a good clearance once again by Ostergaard. He's getting his head absolutely everywhere so far, and Genoa able to clear the bouncing ball as well. This is a possible opportunity for them to counter, but Friendrup just comes back inside. He does find Echetor, who's able to turn just inside his centre circle, turns, lets the ball run across his body, and then finds Ederson. Ederson outside of his left boot, down the wing for Echetor, who's gone for the most outlandish 1-2 I think I've ever seen. Huge distance on that 1-2 to get the return pass off Ederson. But Echetor unable to keep the ball in, so a goal kick taken by Carnesecchi up the pitch. It's a different profile for these front two for Atalanta now. Raspadori is a very intelligent forward, but he's a little bit shorter in stature than Scamacca, so maybe that long ball is not going to work as well as before. Maybe Kristovic is going to have to do a little bit more of that big man role. Daruna giving the ball away inside his own half, but good recovery work from the Dutch midfielder, getting possession back for his side. And Atalanta work the ball through their back three into Zalewski. Zalewski manages to get the ball to Hanor. Now dropping deep, Raspadori there is just muscled off the ball by Hien, but I think touch illegally. So Hanor just with a quick free kick inside to Hien. Hien won over to Scalvini. Back to Scalvini from Zappacosta, now inside to his goalkeeper, who launches the ball up the pitch towards Kristovic. Kristovic lays it off well. Opportunity here to counter down the right. This is Zappacosta. His just legs couldn't get him there. Perhaps like in his younger years when he was slightly flighter of foot, he's unable to reach that. So a Genoa throw in that left wing back position. Sabelli has the ball in his hands. He has Vasquez inside of him. Options down the wing. That's where he goes. Tries to get it to Echetor, but Scalvini reads it well. Steps in, intercepts, tries to work it up the right wing, but the assistant referee on that far side raises his flag. It's going to be another throw to Genoa, this time slightly further up the pitch. 60 minutes played here at the New Balance Arena, and it is still 0-0 in this game between Atalanta and Genoa. Match day 35 of Serie A. No changes to the standings as we stand. Atalanta still in 7th place, Genoa still in 14th. Let's see if that changes. If we get a goal here sometime soon, would be good, wouldn't it, ladies and gentlemen? It's been a good game, I have to say, but the only thing that's missing here is a goal as we pass the half-hour mark. Scalvini inside to Daruna, who won onto his midfield partner, Ederson. He plays it first time into De Ketelaere. De Ketelaere then tried to work it into the front too, but Genoa just intercept. That's a loose pass from Ostergaard there. Wafted outside of his left foot at it, tried to play it into Echuban, but it was an easy take for that Atalanta back three, who are able to build a counter-attack inside their centre circle. Ball is fired out to Zalewski, edge of the box, plays it into number 17 to Ketelaere, who tried to fire it into that top near post, but couldn't get it the right side of the upright. Good opportunity there, slightly wasted a little bit by De Ketelaere. He possibly had a little bit more time to think about it. Wanted to take the shot early and fire it up into the near post, catch the goalkeeper off guard, but couldn't really settle himself. Zalewski's doing well down that left wing for Atalanta. Looks like he could be a likely source of an assist or a goal as we approach the final 30 minutes of this game. Genoa trying to play the ball up the pitch to Echuban, but Hien just steps forward and marches out of defence with the ball. This is an interesting opportunity. Ederson with a shot there, fires it into Bilu, and who was that with the follow-up? Raspadori had a whole goal to aim at, and once again fired it back to the keeper. So double save from Bilu there. The first one from Ederson was hit on the half volley with a lot of venom. Unorthodox save from Bilu. He just really got a body to it, and he sent the rebound right back into Raspadori's pass. And Raspadori really didn't think, just try to get a connection on it. He, I'm sure, would have thought that would have seen the net bulge, but Bilal gets a second save on it and keeps Genoa level scores here in the New Balance Arena, but Atalanta just upping the pressure a little bit. The substitutions have made a difference. Early good sign there from Raspadori. Cross from the right. Zappacosta is charged down by Vasquez, who's hit the deck after that, clutching his back. Let's see what happened there. But we're having a replay of that shot from Ederson. He hit it really well. Hard technique in front of him on the half volley. Bang! Really hit it well. And Bilu just sent the save right into Raspadori's path, and he should have done better, Giacomo. That would have been his third goal of the season. He spent the first half of this season at Atletico de Madrid, but it wasn't working out for him, so he was sold back to Atalanta in January. Yellow card shown to Ederson there, Atalanta midfielder, just as Genoa were trying to break. I think one of Genoa's centre forwards, Echuban, has just got clattered by Ederson as he was trying to control that bouncing ball coming out of defence. Immediately the referee Pezzuto showed the yellow card. So a free kick to Genoa, and midway inside their own half. Central, taken by Ostergaard, out towards the right wing, where Vitinha is crowded out by Ahanor. the young 18-year-old who's conducted himself with a great deal of assurance. Ellertson will get the throw that resulted from that clearance. He has Marcandali beneath him, but throws it inside to Echetor, who nods it on. And now this is an opportunity for Genoa if they can get a hold of it. They can't. Zappacosta doing a defensive job there, emerging with the ball, crossing the halfway line, powering into Genoa's half, and just ran out of room and gas and control. Amorim just sweeping up ahead of him. But it's not over yet. Atalanta come again to Keteleri, into Raspadori's feet. Good defensive work there from Marcandali. He needed to be absolutely perfect on that one. He needed to watch Raspadori's movement. He's an intelligent runner, and he had a lot of motion in front of him, but he tracked the runner, and just as Raspadori was lining up the shot inside the penalty area, Marcandali just stuck out a foot, put it behind for a corner, which now Zaliewski stands over, right-footed on this left side. It's going to be an in-swinger, is it? No, he drops it deeper to Ahano. Ahano inside to Zappacosta, who this time fires one in, sort of a cross-come shot. Scalvini was the one who ended up on the end of it, but couldn't direct the effort goalwards. So behind for a goal kick, which Bilal allows Vasquez to take. Are we going to see an opener here in these remaining 25 minutes or so? Vasquez passes it right to Bilal. Bilal to Ostergaard, who launches the ball up the right wing for Echetor to follow. Really intense between Hien there and Echetor. The Swedish defender just protecting the ball, winning possession for Atalanta, getting the ball up the pitch where Kristovic drops deep from centre forward, retains possession, finds Darun. Darun out there to Zappacosta. He's inside the Genoa half now, has De Keteleri inside. The Belgian on the ball now, tries to turn and look for an option ahead of him, goes for the safe option. Scalvini behind him. Hien out to Ahano. Ahano opens the pitch up and finds Raspadori. Raspadori drops it to Edison. Ahano coming on the third run there, picks up it again. Raspadori one on to Kristovic. Kristovic just ran out of room. Got it off Raspadori, tried to turn, and was it a pass, maybe a shot? I'm not even sure. He knew himself. Goal kick to Genoa. Atalanta trying to up the pressure here. They've got the weight of history on their side. They've won their last 6, unbeaten in their last 13, and haven't lost at home to Genoa in over a decade. But De Rossi's men are still in this, especially with this dangerous front three: Vitinha, Echetor and Ekuban. Unable to control that goal kick from Bilal though, so it's worked all the way back to Carnesecchi. He in turn launches it up towards the Keteleri, who's unable to get a foot on it, and in the doing so he's just fouled Amorim. Controlled the ball, his second touch was a little heavy, and in trying to regain it just overstepped a touch and clattered into Amorim. A couple more changes being prepared here from Daniele De Rossi. The Ukrainian Malinovsky is stripped, as is Junior Messias. So a couple of attacking changes from De Rossi here. He's not sitting on his laurels. He wants to make this Serie A status mathematically sure. Number 10, Messias, is on for Amorim. Brazilian for Brazilian. 34 years old, Junior Messias. Bit of a late bloomer. He's on now for Amorim. And the Ukrainian Ruslan Malinovsky, formerly of Atalanta. So perhaps that immutable law of the X might come into play as Malinovsky comes on to face his former teammates. He has just over 20 minutes to affect proceedings, as does Messias. Let's see. One change remaining, I think, here. No, two changes remaining for De Rossi before his allocation of 5 is used up. Atalanta almost had an opportunity to counter there, but Leo Ostergaard is down. He just got clattered into by Raspadori. So maybe De Rossi is going to be forced into a 4th substitution quicker than he otherwise planned. Is he up, Ostergaard? He looks like he's going to be okay. Good for him. Just took a body-on-body clash there from Raspadori, but otherwise that's nothing that Ostergaard is not used to. He's a physical, aggressive defender himself, well-travelled, played in a number of countries, so extremely experienced. Drop ball taken. Atalanta retain possession. Scalvini has it, plays it inside to Carnesecchi, and now Carnesecchi launches it up towards Kristovic, who gets the nod on, but there's nobody near him. De Ketelere there, probably the closest, but he was unable to get on the same wavelength as Kristovic. Ball is cleared up the right wing, where Messias gets his first touch on it, which is to play it inside to Ekuban, but Ekuban is unable to control. Atalanta have possession. Zappacosta drops it to Scalvini. Scalvini inside to Ederson, and then it's back to Carnesecchi, who didn't really get his clearance right. It's out for a throw here, just shy of the 18-yard line for Genoa's perspective. Ellison has it in his hands. Number 77 has Indonesian heritage through his mother. Does the Icelandic international, very versatile player, comfortable wide as he is in the middle of the pitch. It's going to be a long throw by Ostergaard, number 5 for Genoa. Throws it into the middle of the Atalanta box, where De Runa gets a head on it, clears, sends it back to Marcandali. Marcandali one on to Ellison. He goes inside to Frendrup. Nice turn from Frendrup, just opening up the pitch and finding Ostergaard, who's fouled by Ahano. Pretty much the first mistake that Ahano has made all game so far. Here we go. Free kick opportunity for Genoa. Less than 20 minutes left to play of normal time, and this is an opportunity for Genoa. Malinovski's standing over it. He's a bit of a long-range specialist. 21 of his 33 Serie A goals have come from outside the box. That is a great stat. But he's not going to take this free kick. Instead, he trots over to the edge of the area looking for the cutback. Instead, it's taken by Sabelli, trying to launch the ball to that far post where Marcandali was lurking. It's taken quickly, though, the goal kick by Carnesecchi, and Atalanta are able to break down the right wing, but that's poor from De Ketelere there. He tried to turn back inside on himself. He's got a bit lucky because the ball's gone out for an Atalanta throw, but he tried to turn back inside himself, just lost control of it. Atalanta still in possession, building from their own half. Ahano into Zalewski. Zalewski round the corner, first time to Kristovic, who hits the deck. Wanted a foul, nothing doing. The referee's unmoved. Bilo clears it. Comes back to Malinovski. He fires it out to Messias. One-on-one with Ahano. The Brazilian comes inside. Tries to just clip it towards Vitinha, who's playing in the kind of inside left channel now. Portuguese to Brazilian, but he way overhit that Messias. So it's gone out for a throw at the right wing-back position. Zappacosta ball in his hands. Couple of subs Atalanta are preparing. Pasalic is stripped, as is Samardzic. So a Croatian and a Serbian, two attacking players about to come on for Atalanta. But here is a potential counter-attacking opportunity. Zalewski coming inside, the attacking midfield position. Passes it out to Zappacosta. Down the wing with exchanging passes with Ketelere. Now it's inside to the penalty area. Kristovic turns, shoots, draws a save from Bilal. Corner to Atalanta. That was good centre-forward play by the Montenegrin. He didn't have a lot of time to turn and shoot, and actually found a route through Ostergaard's legs, winning a corner which is taken quickly. 1-2, cross from deep to the far post. Scalvini gets a head on it. Another head in there, it's bouncing out towards Zalewski, who fires a great effort goalwards. He caught that well, but target was a little off. Really did catch that well. Straight into the crowd behind that goal. If that had been goal bound, that would have been a hard stop. Opportunity for Atalanta to make these substitutions. Samardzic coming on for number 17. De Ketelaere drops off. Been a bit frustrating afternoon for De Ketelaere. Maybe Samardzic can come on and make a difference. And Pasalic is on for Daruna, who sticks the armband on the Croatian, who's going to come on. Slightly more attacking midfielder than Daruna. He's a bit more box-to-box, a bit more of a classical central midfielder. So these are attacking substitutions from both managers who really want to try and open this game up. 15 minutes left to play of normal time, plus however much the referee deems sufficient. Bilal has ball in his hands here. Drops the ball to his feet. Passes it right to Marcandali inside his area, who takes a touch, opens his body and clears it up the wing. Bit of a poor clearance actually. It's out for a throw, which Zalewski is able to take halfway inside the Genoa half. The Pole has the ball in his hands, options in front of him. He wastes that throw. He tried to play it into Kristovic, but he didn't have the distance on his throw. And now Genoa are able to break, are they? Opportunity here. Ruslan Malinovsky almost coming on to that ball headed into his path by Ekuban, but it's an easy take for the Atalanta back three, who are able to exchange passes with the midfield. Work it to Honest Ahanor here. Ahanor into Zalewski. Zalewski beats Ellertson down the left wing. Still has the ball at his feet. Plays it inside now to Kristovic. Kristovic tries to feed in Raspadori, but good defending from Genoa. Just nipping in there ahead of the Italian. And as they emerge from midfield, Malinovsky is fouled, and Kristovic, a little bit frustrated, just clips at the Ukrainian as he was coming through. He realises his mistake, offers a handout of apology. He was a bit frustrated, I think. He just clips Malinovsky, so opportunity for Genoa to build from their own half. Passed up the wing to Sabelli, who's been quiet in this second half. He had a bit of a better first half there, but unable to affect it as much. Raspadori passes it inside Kristovic. Kristovic is allowed to turn. Number 90 lays it off to Samardzic, who just lets it run to Zappacosta. Now he has it, the Serb. Plays it out to Zalewski inside the penalty area on the left side. Zalewski drops it. Shooting opportunity from Raspadori, hits the bar! Edge of the area. Closest we've come all day. And he turns and looks to the heavens. Giacomo Raspadori. He had Bilal beat, but the crossbar rattled the ball behind for a Genoa goal kick. That was close. 79 minutes played. You're listening to audio commentary of Atalanta versus Genoa here at the New Balance Arena. Still goalless. Ellertson inside Atalanta's half, squares it inside to Frendrup. Frendrup to Malinovsky, who's able to turn and tries to fire it into Ekuban's feet, but Scalvini gets there ahead of him. Now Atalanta can break. If that pass was a little bit better from Samardzic through to Kristovic, but the Serb couldn't find the Montenegrin. So Genoa are able to build from deep. Ostergaard has it. goes to his goalkeeper. One touch from Bilal out to Marcandali. Now Marcandali down the wing. Vitinha tries to get his body there. Ekuban ditto, but the Atalanta defenders are able to just clean up. Pasalic wins the ball in the centre circle. Turns and tries to bear down on goal. His pass to his midfield partner Samardzic is poor and allows Genoa to break with Sabelli, who just comes inside. And Samardzic is fouled, and I think Samardzic is going to get a yellow card here. Let's just see what the referee decides to do. Sabelli burrowing a channel down that inside right. Brought down midway inside the Atalanta half. And this time Malinowski shows a little bit more interest in taking this free kick. Looking intently at his options, those clear, almost grey-blue eyes the Ukrainian has. Left-footed, he's going to take this to the right of the Atalanta goal. As he's looking at it, he'd love to get a goal against his former employees. He clicks it flat, and it's an easy headed clearance for the Atalanta defence. Genoa sweeping the ball up inside their own half. Vitinha just clipping the ball safely back to his goalkeeper, who fires it into midfield. He's able to turn there. Still they go. Number 77, Elliotson, is tackled by Zalewski, who's still full of running, the wing back. He's been up and down all afternoon, and as I've mentioned a couple of times, he's been a real source of danger down this wing. But now it's down the right wing with Zappacosta that Atalanta go. He comes inside to Mario Pasalic. Pasalic has Scalvini going ahead of him and Samardzic as well, but Zappacosta plays it into Samardzic's feet. Number 10 cuts inside onto his left foot. Tries to just slip Zappacosta inside of him, but it was a poor pass, well read, and Vitinha tries to burst down the left wing. To be fair to Zappacosta there, he tracked back and manages to win himself a throw. Number 77, Zappacosta, still full of running. Ball in his hands, just inside the Genoa half. Throws it deep to Scalvini. Scalvini, wearing those red boots, takes a touch, and then inside to Mario Pasalic. Pasalic out to Ahano. Ahano lets the ball run across his body and now finds Zalewski just inside Atalanta half. Tried to play the ball down the wing, but Elliotson blocks. Nevertheless, Ederson gathers, and now Atalanta coming down the right wing with Samardzic. Cross from the right towards Zalewski, who's never going to get ahead of the rangy figure of Marcandali. It's cleared, and I think Messias has been awarded a foul by his fellow Brazilian, I think, Ederson. So a foul just in this right back position as Messias tried to emerge with the ball. 83 minutes played, still goalless. Still goalless. Couple changes still in the bank for Genoa. Atalanta have one remaining. Bilal takes his free kick from the right back position, launches it up the pitch towards Ekuban. It bounces at the Ghanaian's feet, but he can't get a control of it. Cleared only as far as Marcandali, who tries to fire it back into Ekuban's feet, but Ahano reads it well, intercepts, passes it up the wing to Raspadori, who tries to keep the ball inside ahead of Ostergaard, but the Norwegian was just happy to shepherd him out of play. Now Genoa come down the right, to the right of the area. Messias tries to cross, but he's well marshalled out of play by his fellow Brazilian, Ederson. And it looks like Ederson actually wins a throw. Excellent work there. Right, another substitution to report to you for Atalanta. Zappacosta is off, and number 6, Yunus Musa, is on. The American, born in New York and a childhood spent in Italy and London, but he plays for the US men's national team. Another substitution, double substitution for Genoa. Messini coming on for Vitinha. And Aaron Martin, number 3, the fullback, is also coming on. I'll just give confirmation that that's going to be coming on for Sabelli. So both sides have used up their full allocation. And the final throw of the dice for Palladino and De Rossi, as they have 5 minutes of normal time to try and get the chance that will open this game up. The reverse fixture between the two sides was 0-0 until the 94th minute, when Isaac Hien was able to find a winner against the 10 men of Genoa. So both managers and both sets of players will be acutely aware that this game is not going to be over until it is very much over. Throw from Atalanta up the wing, but it's headed back into play by Frendrup, who's sort of gone unnoticed a little bit in this game, but he's been full of running and he's been at the centre of everything good that Genoa have done. First touch for Musa there is just defensively to win a throw with Messias lurking, win a goal kick I should say, with Messias lurking. So a goal kick for Carnesecchi. 4 minutes left to play of normal time. The goal kick launched up towards the front men of Atalanta, but Genoa get there first and send it back into Atalanta's half. Scalvini gathers, gets control, back towards the Genoa defenders, but no chance to build an attack, and Malinowski gets it out to Messias outside of his right boot, has Elliotson coming across him, plays in the Icelandic, who's playing a little bit inside now, and I think he may have won a corner, has he? Michael Elliotson? I think so. Surely from that angle. Indeed, it's going to be a throw. A corner, I dare say. And Aaron Martin, full of quality on set pieces, has 5 assists this season. The Spanish left-back trots over to take this. Has played for the national team. Not a regular, but has had an international call-up. Left-footed, takes it. Good delivery, but cleared at the front post by Honest Ahano. Referee has pulled up play for something here. He's just indicated that he's stopped play. Yeah, I saw just before that Messias was moving a little bit uncomfortably as he played an Elliotson in the lead up to that corner, and the problem is, from a Genoa perspective, that they've used up all of their 5 substitutes. So if the Brazilian can't continue, then Atalanta are going to have a man advantage for the final few minutes of this game, which 2 minutes of normal time plus a little bit extra. Messias is off the pitch, just getting that right thigh strapped up earnestly by the Genoa physios. Atalanta will want to get this ball into play as quickly as possible so they can try and make use of this temporary man advantage they're going to have. Bilal launches the ball up the wing, where it's a good header from Ahano into midfield and then out to Zaliewski. Musa has it now. Finds Scalvini, who crosses the halfway line on that right side. Back inside to Musa. One touch, a little bit wayward his pass, but eventually Honest Ahano is able to gather and playing it out to Zaliewski. Midway inside the Genoa half. The Polish winger, one-on-one with Elliotson, squares it to Raspadori. Once again, Musa's touch is a little heavy, drawing the ball out of the danger area, but Atalanta are able to come again. Samardzic into Raspadori, tries to play the ball around the corner, shooting opportunity here. First, Zaliewski just tried to bend it into the far post, but it's put behind for a corner. Pressure from Atalanta here. a corner as the clock ticks towards the 90th minute mark. I dare say the Pole is going to try and launch us into the box as Messias trots back to help defend this. Good delivery from Zalewski. The punch from Bilo is not convincing, and Scalvini just tried to hook it back over his head goalwards, but hits the top of the net. It was a little bit flappy there from Bilo. Didn't get any distance on his clearance, and it dropped for Scalvini, who just tried to hook it back over his head towards the goal. Instructions being issued by Raffaele Palladino as we pass the 90th minute mark. Been a lot of running from a fair few players out there. Ederson 10.3 kilometres, Frendrup 10.2 kilometres. Both of these sides are putting in a lot of hard work. Ederson gathers the bouncing ball, plays it inside to Frendrup. Frendrup out to Ekuban, who tries to turn Honest Ahano and doesn't get round him. I dare say the player of the match award will go to someone else, but I think that Honest Ahano this afternoon has been solid as you like. And when you bear in mind that he is 18 years old, I think he's put in an exceptional performance and one for the future, for sure. 5 minutes left to play, of which we've played one, so 4 minutes left on the clock. Can either of these sides try and find the breakthrough? Musa there, bursting into midfield and gathering that loose ball. One-on-one with Samardzic. Drops it deep to Scalvini. He's everywhere, Musa, full of energy in this little cameo that he's had. Squares it to Ederson. Ederson spreads it wide to Zalewski, number 59 for Atalanta. One-on-one with Ekuban. Tries to hook it inside towards Kristovic. Kristovic lays it off to Raspadori, but I think in the process coming through, he's fouled number 73 for Genoa, Massini, and so concedes the free kick on the edge of the Genoa penalty area. And Massini here, central midfielder, product of the Genoa Youth Academy. This is his breakthrough season after a few spent out on loan. He gets there ahead of Kristovic, that's for sure. Probably is a foul. I'm not convinced that Massini is in as much pain as he's suggesting, but if you start getting worried about footballers overplaying injuries, then you might as well not watch the game. It's part of it, part of the professionalisation of the game. And perhaps I'm being a little bit unfair on Patrizio Massini, because he is having to walk off the field of play here, clutching his groin, and he looks like he really does want to come on as quickly as he possibly can, and the physio's seemingly giving the okay, but it's going to be at the discretion of the referee. Bilal's clearance towards Ekuban overcooks it a little bit. Throw taken quickly by Zalewski, deep to Hien. Hien right to Musa, dropping from midfield, picking the ball and then finding Samardzic. Samardzic cutting inside the Genoa half, squares it across the pitch to Ederson. Ederson takes one touch, opens the ball out, finds Zalewski. Zalewski one-on-one with Ellison, squares it. Raspadori inside the penalty area, shooting opportunity there was, but he decided to square it one further to Pasalic, I think that was. And by the time the ball got to the Croatian, he was crowded out and his shot took a deflection. Minute and a half left to play of this game. Bilal kicks it out of hands all the way up the pitch, where Hien clears it only as far as Ekuban though. That's good defensive work by Ederson, not allowing the Ghanaian striker to turn, and Atalanta are able to pass their way out of trouble. Minute left. Musa turns, passes it to Samardzic, gets it back off him. The American spreads play to Honest Ahano, bursting from that defensive position. Ahano, pretty much the first pass he's got wrong, trying to find it into Zalewski. He tried to catch his eye there just to apologise, but Zalewski was looking elsewhere. Throw taken by Ellison up the wing. Ekuban gets his body to it, holds the defender off, tries to feed Ellison coming outside of him, but concedes the throw. No, it's actually a Genoa throw, which Ellison, number 77, is going to take and plays it inside to Frendrup. Frendrup concedes possession, but Genoa are able to win it back. Again, they cough it up, trying to clip the ball down the right wing, but Hien reads it well, gathers, passes it inside to his goalkeeper. Goalkeeper out to Scalvini. This is real last chance saloon. Scalvini inside to Musa. Back to Scalvini. Back to Musa. Musa turns, finds Hien. Hien wearing those yellow boots up to Ahano. This is going to be the last attack. Ahano down the wing. Zalewski has it now. One-on-one with Ellison. He waits. Going inside, then out. Now he bursts to the byline. Clips it with his left foot. Gets a corner. Will there be time for the corner? Looks like there is going to be. Zalewski sprints over to take it. It's now or never for Atalanta. They need wins if they're going to try and make it Europe. The corner is taken. It's cleared only as far as Edison. Shooting opportunity for the Brazilian. He hit it well. Tried to just shape it into that top right-hand corner. This replay will tell me how far he was. About a yard wide. Hit it well. It was always a little bit too high and wide, I think. And there are going to be mere seconds left. It's hit up the wing. Scalvini clears it back into the middle of the park. And that is that. The referee blows his whistle. It ends Atalanta 0, Genoa 0. To be fairness to Genoa, they have at least stopped this run of 6 games head-to-head with Atalanta that they have lost. And it's a useful point for Daniele De Rossi's side as they seek to mathematically make certain their performances in Serie A next season. Daniele De Rossi looks satisfied. It's been my pleasure to talk you through this game. A little short on goals for sure, but a competitive and entertaining match of football nonetheless. Both sides trying to find the breakthrough. It's ended here 0-0 at the New Balance Arena, and I'd like to wish you a very, very happy end to your weekend.